life events happen, and that you can't help but take that and look inward and say, I need to take care of myself to be able to help these people, to be able to help in an organization. You got to take care of yourself first.
Today is a big day because I'm turning over the ship to David, our new CEO, and he'll have a couple things to say in just a couple minutes. This is a really exciting moment for me. It's, as I mentioned before, it's been 20 years since I started the project and 10 years since we've had a commercial operation. So
I'm sure everyone in the company was a little bit scared of how things will develop, and it was uncertain time.
So I like to come into an organization and help them, realize their opportunities. So I'm looking for organizations that, had an opportunity that I thought was well worth running after. When I first got the phone call about this, I wasn't really looking for a job, as we've talked about. But I got the phone call, and as I started, sort of looking at Nagios and came and had the opportunity to meet with Ethan and talk about it, I couldn't believe the opportunity that was in front of me.
We just started to change and evolve, and the amount of rules and policies and everything began to expand, and it started to feel more like a corporate environment, not in every way, but in a lot of ways, than it had previously.
I didn't really mesh with David very well. I actually think that he's probably a pretty good person. But he didn't have the technical know-how, I think, to lead a tech company, and frankly, he wasn't really very good at his job, in a multitude of ways.
We've all been around the company long enough. We'd been around Ethan enough to know what things he appreciated, what things he felt emotional attachments to.
There's some things in the company's history and culture that need to be there for it to be the way it is. And there's some things that I know from having 10 years experience working with Ethan that you just aren't going to change. One of those that David tried to do right away when he came on board was to change the Nagios logo and color palette. They put out the proposals, and as soon as I saw them, I told him this will never be approved. And he said, "What do you mean it'll never be approved? I'm the CEO." And I'm like, it's because you don't understand the backstory. The logo of Nagios has a specific font that was used because it is etched, and it shows that it can be worn, but it will stand the test of time. And if you just go and change that font to be Heklava, it doesn't have the same meaning, and it's never going to be approved. So he learned at that day that I was right, and I did have a little more history the day that all of those rebranding changes just weren't going to be just blanket approved.
New CEO coming in who wants to put his name on something. I think quite a bit of that he thought, I want to change for the sake of change so I can say that I was involved in a change. And we were able to keep a lot of that intention out and try to keep as much of historical Nagios while still growing and progressing and driving revenue and enabling partners and customers, and all while keeping happy employees on the other side of the wall. COVID was a very trying time for Nagios as a company, but for a lot of our customers, a lot of industries got impacted. The pandemic changed the workforce, good or bad. I think people's expectations of work and employers' expectations of their employees' work has changed.
We can be successful working remote. We've proven that. That if we need to, we can communicate and still be effective, and we have the ability to substantiate that.
The community is what built our company. The community finding ways to support itself, driving adoption of the product. Ultimately, yes, Ethan created the product. That's our commercial thing, but the community as a whole is what we're successful from. And to an extent, David was cold to that fact, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. It was, if they're not paying us, fuck them, right? And we were going towards a place of we should charge for every single thing, capitalize everything that we do. I think that would spit in the face of the people who have really helped us be what we are, and really have the staying power that we've had for as many years as we have.
In the late summer, early fall of 2021, I started to get information that came to me kind of through the back channels that there were some problems with the company. And that caused me to start looking into some of the issues that were present.